Hello and welcome once again to Nomad's World Minecraft. Today we are starting at the excavation site, and as you can see I've got the slime farm built. Now it's not complete. Let me get rid of some stuff here. Get rid of all the valuables. I am getting some slimes out of this. Kind of doing a little pre-sort here. The top two chests have my cobblestone and my gravel, which my base is full of now. I'm still looking for more dirt, but that's not a priority. I still need to make a... as you can see, I've got my collection spot here. Basically, stuff will come along in the hoppers, come over here, drop into that one, and so, you know, I got 3 chests here. I'll probably attach another chest to that one there. Nothing really going on at the right now, and it's easy. So what I've got going on here, I'm at level 35, and slimes spawn at level 30, I want to say 39 and lower. It's the Wikipedia for the game says 40, but I think it might just say under 40. So level 39 though, you're just gonna get the little itty bitty ones, you know, which is fine, but we want the big ones. So I'm gonna continue to take this down, but for right now I am leaving this platform so that I get slimes while I continue the excavation down to level 4 or 5. So this is what it looks like right now. I've got it all lit up so that nothing will spawn in here except for slimes. Okay, slimes do not care about the light level. They'll spawn in here, and then I lost a piece of fencing right there. But basically I've got, you know, a little piece of sand here with cactus growing out of it, and I placed the cactus and then rather than waiting for it to grow. And then I put originally I had a stone block there, and then created the golem on top of that. You know, I put the fence around it and then did the golem. If you don't know how to do a golem, basically you take 4 blocks of iron. Okay, they have to be blocks of iron, not iron bars. So that's quite a bit of iron. But then what you do is you place a T shape. Basically it's the arms and legs of the golem, and then on top of right here on the top for the head you put a pumpkin. Alright, now if you do it correctly, you will get a iron golem that will spawn. He's not attached to a village. There are certain things about this that you know, he's not going to go looking for a village. He'll just stand in one place. There may be some things that he'll attack, but for the most part they just stand there. I put the fencing around it just in case they decided to start, you know, moving around a little bit. They'll kind of, you know, twitch and whatnot in one spot, but and they're kind of a little tricky to get into place, but because sometimes they'll basically spawn. You have to have like 2 sides of your fencing not put into place, otherwise the he won't spawn. You know, yeah, well, first of all, you wouldn't be able to place the blocks of iron. Um, so you know, you want to box him in, then make him spawn in, and then push him into the middle there, because he'll like pop over a little bit. He won't drop down usually. I didn't have any issues getting these guys into place. I'm kind of curious as maybe I just forgot to put that there or something. I don't know. And then with the stone block here, and then I had fencing around it so that, you know, no slimes could jump and maybe touch the golem, because we don't want the golems to take any damage. It's not that they're gonna, you know, go berserk or nothing, or you know, and they got a lot of hit points, so they're not gonna die very easily. But we just, you know, hey, it's a lot of iron. We've got them set up. Let's keep them from getting damaged. Well, the slimes were, you know, they'd come over here, the big ones, and they'd rub up against the cactus, taking damage. They'd break up. Then the medium-sized ones, you know, and they'd back and forth until they were little ones. Well, the little ones would be like, oh, there's a golem. They'll attack golems. All right, so they're attracted to them. So they're like, do, you know, bopping up and down, and then they get right about here, and they turn around and they go after this guy, and they go back and forth, and rarely hit the cactus. And I think it was because they basically, you know, they get here and they can't see them or something. So maybe I need to take this middle one, like over there. Maybe if I take those out, they'll be able to see them. I want to make sure that these golems stay in, you know, up here and are protected. You know, I don't want the big slimes to be jumping up and down and touching and doing damage to the golems, because I don't want to have to replace them every so often. But while I was in the process of putting these in and whatnot, I was getting a whole bunch of slimes. Now it tapered off, and as you can see, nothing's spawning at this point, and I believe it's because I'm at a mob cap, and so somewhere down under here in these 4 chunks I have mobs, and I've gone down. I've been continuing to tunnel and whatnot, but as you can see, nothing's spawning. So it was pretty active, so I know this is working, but for some reason you know, there must be a bunch of mobs down in there somewhere. Now I've got a little platform above their heads. That was, I guess, made mostly to like keep them from getting up and over the fence, you know, in case that would happen. They'll bang their heads against that. There is a I think it's about a 1 block gap between the blocks and the head of the golem, so they might still be able to get up over this. We'll have to take these fencing pieces out, these center ones, and see if that fixes the issue with the slimes going back and forth, not really doing much. Then when they die, they drop slime balls, which end up, most of them end up in the hoppers here. Okay, every once in a while you get one that'll, you know, it'll pop out over here, you know, and it'll just sit there until it despawns. But then all the hoppers are connected up into those chests. So then what I've been doing was I was trying to decide how I wanted to do the continuing excavation. I thought about making tunnels going through, you know, just honeycomb it a bit and all the way down, and find all the big gaps, and then like put water. I don't think the slimes will spawn on water. You know, so if I put water here and it spread out, I don't think the slimes will spawn there. But I don't know that for certain. And so I was kind of like, oh, maybe I'll just take out everything and then I'll rebuild the iron farm down at the bottom, and then you know, remove this one or leave both of them. I haven't decided completely yet. So with that in mind, I started thinking, okay, you know, I'll work on, you know, taking, you know, the first 2 levels, you know, this level here and this level here, and leaving this one here. And I get over and I'm like, how far over do I need to go? And I didn't have all the coordinates written down, but so I decided, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make all the way around, all right, and then I'm putting my torches, you know, every 5 blocks down. I'm at level 20, so I got to do another round of torches, and I just take, you know, 1 row at a time, and I keep coming across some you know, spots where, you know, there's stuff going down, you know. So I went down into these some of these areas, and I lit them up a bit. You know, you can see that I blocked off this wall. This here went into there, and I followed it for a little while, you know, and I lit it up and whatnot. Hopefully no slimes are able to spawn in there. I believe, I want to say that there's no other slime chunks. You know, it's these 4, and then there's none around them. Okay, there may, you know, maybe this chunk is not a slime chunk, and then the next one is, but there shouldn't be any slimes spawning anywhere, you know, around this. So the next thing to do basically is just, you know, get all the rest of the mobs not spawning down here, and either remove everything and build another slime farm down at the bottom, which is probably what I'm going to do, and then I might, you know, leave this one. Actually, let's there we go. Now I've got a way to get over. So, you know, that's what's going on over here. I've been spending some time on it, obviously. I thought about doing these while on video, but I decided, you know, just, you know, when I got the girlfriend over, I don't necessarily get 5 minutes to myself, so I, you know, and I like to spend time with her, so you know, I'll spend a few minutes, you know, working on something, and then, you know, and if she's sleeping, I don't want to record and be talking and wake her up. So I tend to, you know, just work on stuff, and then when I get onto a video, I do my show and tell like this. So I got torches on top of the little platforms, keep stuff from spawning. That was kind of like something I forgot at first, and I had some skeletons on top. You know, during the night, and then in the morning they would burn off. But you know, I was like, oh no, I want to keep these guys. I want to keep this area completely cleared of anything but slimes. All right, so I'm going to go over to the trading center, the village trading center, and show you what I've done over there. I'll be right back. So I'm heading over to the village breeder, and done a little bit of work over here to fix the issue of villager cap. I'm not sure that it's completely worked, but it has improved a little bit. I'm not getting just 2 now villagers at a time. And what I did was I moved my librarians over into that little place right over there. You see that over there? There's the main building, and there's the new building. A couple other things I've done, little things. I've cleaned up a couple of, cleaned up the iron farm a little bit. There was some issues with that, using the slabs and placing torches. It was bugging me, so I fixed some little things there. I had a creeper at my main entrance to my my base, and he blew up and took out a couple of my gates and the gates that were right next to the door and some stuff. So I did a little bit of work there. I'll show you that in a little bit. So basically, not much has changed on this level. I have some. I think he's a cartographer. Yep. I just got to get these guys to go down into the zombie kill zone. That was the one thing I missed. This is all cleaned out. I took all the villagers out of here. I still have the armorers, weaponsmiths, and toolsmiths up top. But then, I got these guys to come over here, and there was a mine cart, and it carried them over to the new building. So, yeah, not much else has changed to this building other than moving the librarians over, which hopefully with the, that's like 16 or so villagers, and I got 3 or 4 more librarians over there, but yeah, so far I didn't make this building quite big enough. I was wanting to have it be 2 rows, just like I had in the other, for my 19, but it's like 7 and then 6. So I had to do another row here. I'll do another row along here. This door really doesn't go any, it's just so I can get in and out if I need to. But there'll be like maybe 5 there. And then I can probably squeeze in, I could squeeze in some over there and another row here of librarians. I don't think I need that many, though. Let me count here real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 27 enchants until the aquatic update comes out, and I think that adds 4 more, so that'll be 31. I've got 19 slots right now, and if I do, let's see, that'd be 5, that's 24, probably another 5 or 6, not 5 there, so 29, yeah, and then I could do a row there, so yeah, I got plenty of room in here. It's just they're going to be spread out a little bit. And eventually I'll have, for each enchant there will be 1 villager, and I'll probably change the signs up at that point. Like if this guy, whatever this guy is, let's see, 14. Where's my cheat sheet? He's my mending, this guy's my mending for 10. That's awesome. I don't think I'm ever going to find a better one than that. He's also got Fortune 1 for 10, but we can do better than that on the Fortune, because that can go up to level 3. I just don't have a Fortune 3, Fortune 2, or Fortune 3 vendor yet. I do have numbers 1 and 3. I still need to do their get their trades opened up. I ran out of paper, and so it's not going not happening over here at the moment, but it will pretty soon. The next thing I want to show is the sugarcane farm. It's coming along. It'll look a little bit like overkill, but it's fairly efficient. Well, I won't say efficient. It's bringing in a decent amount of sugarcane, and it's got some issues, and I can't remember how I fixed those on the farm I had once before. My very first world, I had a really efficient farm, and it still had, a little bit of loss, but and I'll show you what I mean by that. This one has a little bit more loss than that one, but it's bigger, and it's stackable. So I'll show you what I mean by all that here in a second. But I've moved my secondary count guy. His name is dumb as a cat. I was looking for a name, and that's what I came up with. It was like I could have just taken the Xbox name that it gave me, but I was like, no, I need something special, And it was just my secondary account, so it was like it didn't need to be like anything super fancy like Graveyard Nomad. So over here, you can see the little hut that he's up inside right now, and go down here. So these are my sugarcane farms. And there's another one here. They run independent of each other, but the hopper system is tied together. So this one will feed into this one, and that'll feed into that chest and down into the collection. Let's show you that first. So this is just a little safe spot. And what I've got is there's a chest up there that ties into two hoppers, one going into that chest, one going into that chest. Because this is the first hopper, they'll go into this one, and then this one takes it down into here. So as you can see, I've got almost a full chest. When that's completed, this will finish filling up, and then this will fill up, and then this will fill up, and once that is full, I believe, then it will start filling these ones up. I'm not going to test it out because that's a lot of stuff to have to throw in here in order to test out how it's going to work. But I was thinking about doing 3 chests, and what I was thinking I could do was these 2 hoppers could come forward one, and then take a hopper from like this one here, bring it over to this, drop it down into another chest here, and then this one could do the same over into a chest here, and so I can expand it. I don't have to move those. I can just do it here, but so I can completely, I can expand this even further as we get some serious sugarcane coming in. And I can tunnel down more and put more chests. So fully expandable, which is nice to have. So the original way I used to do this was a water stream, and which provided the water that you need. And you have to have water next to the piece of you can use grass or sand, And I think there's a couple other, there might be one or two more other kinds of blocks that sugarcane will grow on. But they need to be right next to water. All right, no kitty corners, nothing like that. So the first plan I ever implemented was a water stream. Basically, I put a water source here. It would go 8 blocks, and then that would be the end of the farm. And then I would have another one going from like here, 8 blocks here, and then my hopper system would go to my storage system. And so it was kind of short, but it's stackable. And what I mean by that is, as long as the center line is open to the sky, they should all grow. Now these guys down here, if I built the exact same system above this, so like go up a couple blocks and then build another one, any sugarcane that breaks would drop down into this lower one and into the hopper system. Now the way the other one worked was, instead of the water back behind the sugarcane, I had the water in the center, and that carried all the sugarcane down. So what happens right now, a little bit of the loss I'm getting, is when the sticky piston pushes out and breaks these second level sugarcane, sometimes it sucks them back in a little bit. Sometimes I get, I don't think I've been getting any on top. Sometimes they could pop up and land on top here, but this row right here of blocks is right in front of these sticky pistons. So when I'll show you how this works. And this one is almost exactly 100% the same as this one. So, so this is an observer. Anything that happens in front of it causes a pulse to go out into the redstone. Okay, it's a single tick pulse. So it just on off, and that pulse goes along, hits the repeater, and it repeats it all the way around until it comes back to here. It doesn't reconnect here. It just goes all the way around once. And what happens is, when this here, every time the redstone on the sticky piston lights up as the pulse goes, it causes the sticky piston to extend. The sticky piston has a block in front of it, which it pushes out, and then when it retracts, it pulls the block back. That's what a sticky piston does. It holds on to the one block in front of it. Then I had a little issue when I put the repeaters down. The repeater does not act as a redstone piece, so it won't activate this. So what I did was I could do either all the rest of them are slightly different. This one, it goes, I think it's no, how far does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then this is 15. Basically, I don't go over 15. I think you can go to 16 and continue this. The pulse will continue, but I stuck to 15. So every 15 blocks, there's a repeater, and then here, because it's a short length, I was able to extend this, so this connects up here, which continues the circuit along, and this also branches here to activate this one, and then so it gets a full strength and it goes along. and it hits that repeater, which doesn't connect to anything. That's just a regular repeater, or serving the purpose of a repeater to continue the signal strength. And it goes along, and because it goes 15, this is the 15th spot, I can't go here and here because that would be 15, 16, and it wouldn't make this block go. I would have had to go back here a little bit. But going here, this is full strength, and even if it's splitting the signal, it's full strength here, full strength here. So you can split a signal like this. You know, I mean, you could have another one going off in that direction, and that would be 3 signals that are full strength. So, you know, this just is a short little piece to make that work, and I can still get my 15 to the next next repeater, and then, you know, rinse and repeat all the way around. This spot right here, I couldn't do a block because I got the poppers there, so I've got nothing growing, so there was no point in having a sticky piston there. So I want to say, I forgot how long this is. It's oh, let's go. Okay, so we're at 1275. It goes to here, and that is 1222 minus the 1222, so minus 2 because these end blocks don't have sugar cane. So 70, 22, 75, it's 53 minus 2, so 51. So, and then minus the center one, so basically 50 blocks, 2 rows of 50. And I don't know if this is exactly 25 in the middle, but you know, whatever. So basically I got 100, 200. This one over here, because the hopper system doesn't continue on, at least not right now, I've got sugar cane growing there, so at 1 extra. And so what happens is, you know, these are singles, these are doubles, you know, 2 blocks tall. Can I get down in there? Yeah. And so I got another one right there. So if I go that, there we go. So you got 1, these are 2, and these are 3. That's as high as it will grow. Alright? Now what will happen is it'll grow, each time it grows, it'll grow 1 stage. So it grew the first stage. The next stage it grows, it's going to be in front of this observer. When it does that, it's going to the observer will create a pulse which will send the signal around, and all the sticky pistons will extend and then retract, breaking off all the sugarcane at the second level, leaving the first level so that it can continue to grow. And then it'll just, you know, whatever ends up in the hoppers will get funneled over into the storage system. Now, the way this could be even more efficient is if I had these observers, if I had like observer, sticky piston, and have what was I trying to say? An observer in front of, like here, but all the way down on both sides, so that every time one of these guys got to level 3, because see now, right now, this isn't efficient. they're at level 3. If they broke off, then they would be, you know, at any time they could grow. But because they're at full strength, they're waiting. They're not doing anything until this happens. Alright? Once this event happens, then they'll all get broke off, and then they'll go back to being productive. You know, even though they're not, you know, they're in this growth stage, so I consider that a productive stage. And having my guy up there keeps it all loaded, and so yeah, it's working. The other problem is, you know, sometimes you get sugarcane that doesn't make it into the hopper. It sits on the ground. It could potentially pop a few pieces up on top here, but that's pretty, you know, that's going to be pretty rare. I went ahead and, you know, put this third block. If I didn't have this third block, yeah, I would end up with a few pieces all along on the top, because it, you know, as the one down here breaks the center one, the top one could pop over and land on top. But now the reason I don't use observers all the way around is it's uses nether quartz and redstone. It also uses cobblestone, which I got plenty of. But the redstone, I'm trying to be a little conservative, because as you can tell, this used up quite a bit of redstone. I've still got quite a bit of redstone, but you know, I mean, I've still got 37 blocks here. I think I got another full stack of blocks in the base, and then maybe a little extra. But you know, I don't want to use up my redstone. Once I have, you know, if I had a full double chest, then redstone would be not a, you know, wouldn't be something I'd be concerned about. So once I create a farm for redstone, then we'll be set on that, and then I won't be worried about that, and I won't be farming it or mining it. I'm kind of hoping this will activate while we're sitting here. It'll probably be that one over there that'll happen. Let's see, if I go here, then you'll be able to see the pulse. So what the nether quartz is kind of difficult to get. It's in the nether, and it's just basically a clear or white crystal that, you know, you can get quite a bit of it pretty quickly, but you know, the nether is kind of dangerous. I don't like being in the nether unless I have to be, you know. And I go in there, you know, and I set something up, like I set the blaze farm, you know, so I can get blaze rods, you know, whenever I want. So that's set up, and you know, so when I need blaze rods, okay, I can go in there, get those, get out. There's some other things there. There's like soul sand for growing netherwort. Excuse me, netherwort. That'll only grow on soul sand. Does not require a water source. It won't grow on regular sand. It won't grow on dirt. Nothing. All right. And so you need some soul sand to make one of those farms. I don't have much use for netherwort, so we'll eventually make a netherwort farm just so that we have it made. But it'll be a pretty simple one. It'll be like our wheat farm that we have going on. And then, of course, you've got the other mobs, you know, that each has its own use. Like the pigmen are good for gold. The wither skeletons are good for wither skulls and coal, which we will at some point be making a farm for that. We'll make the pigman farm first so that we have more gold, because we're pretty much tapped out. I think I've got a little bit that I've gotten from the excavation site. But yeah, this, like I said, I can stack this. I'm probably gonna, that's probably what I'm gonna do, is I'll make one more level above this, so it'll be another 200 growing sugarcane, and it shouldn't affect the growth of these ones down here, even though it'll be somewhat block lighting, but as long as the center block is open, light will come down, and it should help allow these ones down here to grow. Another thing I'm intending to do is over here is I'll probably, this is nice and flat. I flattened and did quite a bit of work just preparing for this build here, and I'll probably expand it out more. I'll fill this in, I'll take these trees out and put in some cobblestone, and then at this level here I'll put dirt, and I'll put in melon farm and pumpkin farm and whatever else I need on that front for regular farms. I also intend to build some farms over at the village breeder, so that when I get the either that or I'll bring a farmer over here. I might do it that way. I haven't decided yet. I've got quite a bit of space here, but as you can see, it snows here, and I kind of don't want to deal with snow with my crops, so it might be beneficial to do crops like carrots and corn, or carrots and potatoes, the wheat, creating bread, what else? Pumpkins, melons. I want to say there's one more. Can't think of it at the moment. But and then I'll have one or two farmers that'll have some pretty good trades, and I'll do like I do with the librarians. I'll be finding the one or two farmers that are the best, and how many, the fewer vegetables you trade for your emeralds. Basically, that's the whole point of a farmer, is you give them vegetables, they give you emeralds, which you can then use for other, purchasing other stuff from your armor smith, your weaponsmith, and your toolsmith. This break off? No, that must have been this one here that has. Yeah, this one's got to be getting close. But and eventually I'm gonna have plenty of emeralds, and I'm not gonna have an issue with that, and I'll have all the books I need, and then it'll just come down to diamonds, and at that point we'll farm up a bunch of diamonds, make extra gear, make better gear, for enchanting, and I mean, yeah, we've got all diamond, but we'll make a full new set and put the best enchants on them, and we'll probably have a couple of different sets. We might have a fire resist set, so that when we're in the nether we don't have to deal with fire damage from the lava, and we'll have to test that out, because in Java version, if you have enough fire resist you can stand in the lava and it won't hurt you. But we'll have to test that out. So that's it for show and tell. Don't really have anything. I mean, I'm still working on the excavation. Oh, let's show you what I did over the front of the base. It's nothing real big, nothing real important. And what we did up at the, I cleaned out the iron farm, all the flowers, all the iron. When I start getting low, I'll move my guy back up there. Currently, though, you know, this is 9 times, you know, basically one of these times 9 equals this. So 9 of these. Yeah. So there's 9 blocks across. So each of these will fill this entire row. So yeah, I got quite a bit of iron right now. Yeah, I'd like to, you know, I'd like to have, you know, like a row of iron ingots, and then a couple spots here. This isn't important. I'll probably just throw these in the furnace. But have the rest of it with just iron blocks, or blocks of iron. Just for the sake of saying, yep, I don't need iron the rest of this season. Nothing else really here. I moved in order to prevent the creepers from, if you remember, I had the fence going along here and I had a gate right there. And when I popped out here, the creeper was standing there and I couldn't get away from him fast enough. He blew up and you know, there was some damage. It destroyed these 2 chests. All this, I think this used to be full, or it was pretty, you know, I mean, it's pretty close. It might have destroyed some of that, but all that stuff dropped on the ground. I picked it up, threw it in these 2 chests. So it took a little bit, and then you know, did repairs, got it all fixed back up, moved the fence this way, and the same on that end. That way I don't have that issue again where I'm popping out and, oh, creeper right in front of my face. I also extended this ledge out a bit, and I made it, that's actually 3 blocks there. There's the bottom, the ledge block, and then 2 on top of that for a wall. So that creates, prevents the mobs from being able to get up and over. You know, the only ones that could do it would be spiders, and I'm not really concerned about spiders. On easy mode, am I even on easy mode? I keep switching. When I go down to the skeleton farm to do repairs on my gear, I switch it to hard, so that some of the skeletons will drop, you know, gold and iron weapon or armor, which I can smelt down and get, you know, a little bit of gold. The iron I'm not concerned about, of course, but the, you know, every little bit of gold I can get. So yeah, you know, nothing can jump up over this. So, because then they could drop down. They'd probably die or be pretty damaged. And then I extended it out here a little bit so that, you know, if anything tries, you know, something could probably, a player could jump over this. You know, from up here they could get in there. But obviously, you know, a player could just open the gate. So yeah, this is a little more protected. I'm still debating whether I want to, you know, like, enclose this completely. I would have to do it with glass. Although the torches might be enough light for the crops here. I'm not sure yet. You know, I really don't need to enclose this. The most dangerous spot is right here. You know, this you know, stuff's spawning and able to get down here, and that's still kind of an issue. As you can tell, I completely killed this one off. You know, I've still got the water, but I took the observers, took the pistons and everything out of here. Still got a little bit of. We'll move this to the other one. Haven't decided if I'm going to use this space for anything or not. So I just I have left it so far. But you know, I mean, I could you know, create a wall here that would, you know, and a roof that would prevent stuff from getting over and inside, but it's not really that big of a deal on easy mode. So there's like nothing down in here, and I don't spend too much time in here, so there's some vines. I'm just collecting these for have no real use for them. I just need to do some farming or some wood cutting farming. My stockpile got a little low, so I went over by the somebody's born in the barn, left the door open. Went over by the village breeder and did some clear cutting. I didn't worry about saplings or replanting or anything like that. I just clear cut. And I was only going after the bark. There was lots of birch, lots of dark oak over there. So, you know, I might, you know, if I need something like that, I go over and I'll clear cut those areas. You know, I just, whatever I could reach from the ground level. So there's still a few branches, you know, where the tree grew a little tall and it branched out and I couldn't reach the wood, so I left those. I didn't spend a lot of time. I just went out and filled up my inventory and then came back. Took my axe down to almost nothing. Well, I mean, I still had a little bit, but you know, down where it was getting to being a concern. And then I came back and did repairs on it. So got some pumpkins, which I can turn into seeds for that. I got melons. We'll make a cactus farm too. So far, now consider that, what would we say? There's 200 sugar canes, so that's 200 sticky pistons. So I've used 200 sticky slime balls already, you know, which is three stacks. So I've got a little bit here. And really, I mean, that's all I really can use sticky pistons or slime balls for, is to make sticky pistons. You can make some other stuff, like, let's see if... make slime blocks, which is a building block, just like regular blocks, that you can put on something and other stuff will stick to it, or slime blocks will stick to each other. So if you had, say, a row of, let's say this here is a row of blocks that I have placed on the ground, or maybe up in the air slightly, and I have one piston, we'll say it's a sticky piston, and it's attached to this, and it extends and retracts. This whole row would go up and back. Now I don't remember, there's a limit on how many blocks a sticky piston will or any piston will push and retract, but and then there's a limit to how many blocks a slime block will stick to. How many will stick together. So you got some limitations there. The lead, you know, we needed that early on, or earlier, and you know, so we now can make those if I need to. Was it magma cream? I cannot remember what these are for. I think it's an alchemy thing. But you need slime balls for that. And I think that's we got the sticky piston. But I think that's it. So I really don't use slime blocks. They are kind of useful if you have like a ladder going up. I'm going to show you what I've done. I use water typically because it's, you know, it's easy to obtain. But if I have a ladder like this and down at the bottom I'll have water. You could also do sticky pistons, or not pistons, slime blocks. And what they do is they act a little bit like a trampoline. You jump down, you won't take any damage. You'll just bounce back up a little bit, you know, but you can jump off of them. So yeah, it's like, you know, if I go up here, okay, now if I go down, there's a chance that I could go off of the ladder and fall. All right, like this. So having water, or, you know, I really should put one more block there of water, but I tend to do just enough off the ladder to drop into the water. So I mean, I'm basically hitting kind of in the middle. But so that's gonna do it. I don't really have anything else done right now. I did do some cleanup, you know, with some of my inventory, move some things around, but not much else. I mean, haven't really done any serious exploring. When I went after that wood, I did explore. I was looking to see if I could find another village. No real purpose to another village, other than, you know, jump in there and grab the bookcases and grab the anything in the blacksmith shop, you know, that wasn't bolted down. But I really, you know, it's not important. I just thought, you know, hey, maybe there's another one, you know, right over the corner, or right over the hill. And so gonna wrap this one up and probably get another video going. Probably gonna start doing some melon and pumpkin farms and get those going while I have slime balls and these some more sticky pistons. And catch you next time. Thank you. Oh, and please be sure to comment on my videos and give me a like. Thank you.